Hi everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at The Tempest. As always, the monologue is in the description below. Take a moment to pause me and read it, and then come on back. So The Tempest is another one of those shows like The Winter's Tale. It's a little hard to pin. Now, it definitely leans more toward comedy. It has some moments that are kind of dark and a little but it's not nearly as dark as The Winter's Tale with its whole subplot of the queen possibly having an affair and the king basically sentencing her to death. No. The Tempest is definitely more towards the comedy, but it does have some darker moments. And The Tempest in and of itself is a really exciting play to look at because it is Shakespeare's farewell. It is not the last play he ever wrote, but it is the last one that he wrote basically entirely by himself. Now, I should explain something about Elizabethan England in terms of its playwrights. Now, at the end of Shakespeare's career, he was taking on younger playwrights and helping teach them. So, for example, his last actual play, the last one his name is on, is Henry VIII, which is one of the histories. And essentially, though, he wrote that with a co-author. His name, being the more popular and the more well-known name, is obviously majorly attached to it, and he did write a good chunk of it. But he was not the sole person. And after The Tempest, that's all that Shakespeare did, was he was kind of helping along, basically acting as a mentor to these younger playwrights. But The Tempest is his swan song. It's his farewell. And it actually takes a lot of ideas and things that have appeared in a lot of Shakespearean plays. For example, Shipwrecks, which Shakespeare loved, Shipwrecks. It takes place in Italy, which was a very, well, it deals with Italy. The island is not really 100% ever put on a map, but it deals with nobles from Italy, and Italy was one of his favorite places to put shows. It has, it has some intrigue. There's this plot of a couple of people to kill the king of Naples and take over. A plot by Prospero's servant/slave Caliban with a couple of the fools to try and kill Prospero, take over the island type of thing. There's his pair of fools, Trinculo and Stefano, who are, again, the fool trope we talked about with Winter's Tale. Only those guys are not nearly as smart as a lot of the other fools are. It also has magic and intrigue and spirits and fairies, things that we've seen in Midsummer, in Macbeth, in Hamlet with the mystical. And it just kind of draws from all sorts of things and tells this really, one of, I think, personally, because Tempest is one of my favorites, it tells such a very clean, clear story. It doesn't drone on, it doesn't, jump wildly. It has a progression. It has a really well done progression. So the basic storyline, just so you know, is Prospero was the Duke of Milan. He was really into his books and studying, so let his brother kind of run things from the political side while he studied. That went south because his brother got power hungry and basically threw Prospero out along with Prospero's little daughter. And they ended up on an island where they met a spirit named Ariel. They set Ariel free, and basically they've been living on the island for the last decade. Prospero's become very powerful magically, and he finds out that, hey, a ship full of all the people that he really didn't like when he was Duke of Milan is coming this way. And he makes a giant storm, sinks the ship. The ship is actually fine, but brings all the people he wants to basically get even with onto his island. The son of the king of Naples, who Prospero didn't really like, finds and meets Miranda, Prospero's daughter. They fall in love. Eventually there's a happy ending. Ferdinand is reunited with his father. Prospero gets to be Duke of Milan again. Miranda and Ferdinand marry, and Ariel gets set free and is able to live a happy life as a spirit. All sorts of really fun things. And then Shakespeare ends with a monologue by Prospero. And it's a monologue that does not actually do anything for the play. It does not push anything forward. It's the last speech, so it's kind of like, if you remember a couple weeks back, we looked at Puck from Midsummer Night's Dream. Puck has a very, very similar monologue to this, in that it's saying farewell to the audience, hey, give us your hands if we be friends type of thing, and, hey, give us the applause, audience, we were awesome. Prospero's monologue is not so much a, hey, we did an awesome job, come see us tomorrow type of thing, but more of a, my journey is over, and if you've liked what I've done, please show that to me through your applause. It's a beautiful piece of poetry, and it is truly poetry. If you read through the monologue, you'll notice that it's A-B type of rhyme, an A-A-B-B type of rhyme scheme where, every two lines rhyme with each other. And essentially, though, this is Shakespeare's farewell. Yes, he went on to write other things after that, but this was his end. This was his kind of, I've made a long life of this. I'm ready to be set free. As an actor, you're playing two things here. You're playing Prospero, doing the Puck monologue, basically, and saying, hey, audience, give me some applause because we just did an awesome job. But we're also saying farewell. We're giving a goodbye. The other tricky thing as an actor with this speech is that it does rhyme, and you have to get yourself out of the trap, because one of the things people do when things rhyme is you start reading it in the same cadence. So it's a da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and basically you start going, now my charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, and really hammering the fact that it rhymes, and you can't do that, because remember, this is supposed to be somebody speaking, even though it's very poetic. So we're going to take a look at that. Hopefully I won't fall into that trap. We'll see how it goes. Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint. Now, 'tis true I must here be confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardoned the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell, but release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself, and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free. And on that, we'll be back again tomorrow. Bye!